One thing that fans are really looking forward to when it comes to Star Wars Episode 9, I would have to say more curious, is exactly how J.J. Abrams will treat the character of Luke in this movie. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of hardcore fans out there really love about the Star Wars franchise has all to do with Sith and Jedi lore. Something that I believe should have been more explored in The Last Jedi and was only hinted at in that movie. Now, with Episode 9 being the final film of the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself, more importantly, the Skywalker saga, right? They really do have to tie up a lot of loose ends and answer a lot of questions that were never answered since The Force Awakens. So these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set designs, the set leaks, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with Luke and his ties with a Sith Lord. Specifically, a description of Luke Skywalker in the form of a Force ghost, in front of Rey on a thing of ancient stone steps that may be a new Jedi temple. Around Luke's neck is a kyber crystal necklace, the one seen in The Last Jedi. It's a crystal fragment that belonged to a Jedi Crusader. The fragment of the crystal once belonged to a Sith Lord. The next goes over Luke putting it around Rey's neck to keep for herself. The last goes over Rey and Luke discussing something while Rey looks down at the crystal fragment, perhaps giving her a lecture of sorts. So I wanted to go over a couple of points here for Luke Skywalker and his connection to this Sith Lord. Now, we do know that he owns the Kyber Crystal Fragment necklace, as we saw in that little glimpse in The Last Jedi inside of his hut. Now, ironically, alright, there was going to be this sequence in The Last Jedi that never made it to the final cut, where Luke was going to be visited by a Sith ghost inside of his hut. The same exact hut in which the location of the Kyber Crystal Fragment was. So, with that being said, is there something more to the story with the Crystal Fragment? I kind of find it strange that Rian Johnson and crew actually zoomed in and actually held like a good angle on that Kyber Crystal Fragment for a good second or two in The Last Jedi. I believe that there is some kind of meaning to that. And with J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, it seems as though that they are toying around with the idea of implementing a lot of Sith and Jedi lore into Episode 9. Now, originally, like I say, they were going to have a Sith ghost in The Last Jedi that never made it to the final cut, unfortunately, and I believe that that is most definitely a connection to the Kyber Crystal itself. So why would Luke Skywalker be giving this crystal to Rey in Episode 9? What could it really serve Rey? Now, a fragment, can she use that for a new lightsaber? Is it possible? Can you even use a fragment of a Kyber crystal to actually activate a lightsaber and make it unstable? That's a question for sure. I'm not quite certain about that. But looking at what, Kylo Ren has been doing with his lightsaber hilt, we do know that somehow, some way, he was able to transition his Jedi lightsaber into a Sith lightsaber by cracking the Kyber crystal itself and making it bleed. So with that being said, Luke Skywalker owning this thing, it really does raise a lot of questions as to where did he originally find this? We do know that he's been on a lot of different travels, a lot of different adventures with Lor-San Tekka, with Tekka actually helping Luke out, discovering Jedi lore and hiding it from the remnants of the Empire, and kind of keeping it with the Church of the Force. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Lor-San Tekka, the man that was killed by Kylo in the very beginning of The Force Awakens, the older man, he was actually really good friends with Luke, and he helped Luke go on these different journeys and discover Jedi lore and hide it from the remnants of the Empire, who eventually become the First Order. So with that being said, Luke does have a lot of knowledge, and also, I don't know if you guys knew this, but R2-D2's data log actually goes on to say that there are thousands of missions that both Luke and R2 went on. I believe that that was explained either in Battlefront 2 or one of the novels. I can't quite remember, but nonetheless, R2 has a log of thousands of missions with him and Luke Skywalker. So that really does open one's eyes now, right? What does Luke know about the Sith and the Jedi and the objects that he actually owns? Now, we do know that Luke Skywalker left a lot of his Jedi artifacts over on Ahch-To. Is it possible that his Force Ghost went back there, grabbed the Kyber Crystal necklace, and is able to go to another planet to give it to Rey for a specific reason? Not quite sure. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.